to go in and question different things. And the part that I really love about this particular podcast is that we apply it to problems that we see in the news, in religion, in politics. You can completely scale to so many folks, and you can totally see how taking a logical perspective can just process your thought process. And it's perfect for young students and perfect for older students.
That's great. I'm going to ask each, there's a joke or a story in educational circles, which says, if Rip Van Winkle woke up after 200 years today, the only thing that he would recognize is our school. So what I want the panelists to do is to think about, what they presented here today and how their product might disrupt our mental model of a traditional classroom, and how might it look? Cheryl, what would happen if we developed a much more comprehensive curriculum, for example, in a lecture company, to put in first and second grade classrooms? What would that take? What would that look like? What do you think, based upon your incredible knowledge of regular learning?
Well, it certainly would look very different from what it looked like even when I was not even talking about Rip Van Winkle, though, just a few years ago when I was more than a few years ago when I was in elementary school. I don't even know if it would be called a school. I mean, I think what we're talking about is learning anywhere, anytime, and I know that's a cliche, but in actuality, that's exactly what I think we're talking about for the future. And it may not be a building. I mean, it would be experiences that children have, and they would have those experiences no matter where they are, no matter what time of day it is, and oftentimes no matter who they're associated with. And as we heard earlier, it's not necessarily that it's going to be a teacher who's going to be providing that information. It could be another student. It could be a sibling. It could be any number of people. And it's important, I think, for us not to try to limit who is the informant, who is the person who's providing that learning experience.
Okay, so you're saying we're going to go from a school day to a learning day, and it's going to be from the time the child gets up in the morning to the time the child goes to sleep at night.
Absolutely, and all of the people who would interact with that child during the course of the day.
Right.
And they don't have to necessarily go to a building on a particular day. It might be something else that they experience during the course of that day.
That's great. Yeah.
Well, from our perspective, I think that's already taking place, and I think it starts with the interactivity of the medium, whatever format it comes in. The opportunities is not one or the other. It's going to be all of the above. Whatever that medium is. If there's one thing that we've learned at looking at all the data from all of our gameplay for all of the children, then we probably have one of the richest sets of data because we tie to every curriculum standard out there for all of our games. Once we started to view it, well, the only real pattern that we can make is that everyone is different. And then we couldn't say mission-based or free-form. Our games online allow the opportunity for all different learning styles. And that's really where it will come from. And as broadband penetration gets further and further along, it's going to be in whatever medium you so choose. Whether it's TV, whether it's interactive TV, whether it's online, whatever it's going to be.
What percentage of your customers are educators or school systems?
Today versus a couple of years ago.
Right.
So as budgets have been cut, it's a different place today than it was. Math Blaster has over a 30% market share in schools. So it's a pretty significant portion.
Molly, as a former teacher.
Yes, I actually don't see learning being disruptive, but something that is going to enhance what's happening in schools right now. As an educator, I've always put technology in three categories in schools. There's the technology for the sake of technology, and that's where we used to be more in the 90s. We've moved more towards technology to reinforce or enhance what we're doing in schools. But then there's more and more you're seeing that true learning tool, which I say push learning in. So